Students, we are learning lesson number 6, animal classification. And in this animal classification, before this we have studied Robert Whitaker given 5 kingdom classification system. And in last video also we have studied diversity in animals, animal diversity. There is huge diversity in the animals, and that's why there is need to classify these organisms. So today we are going to study, in this video we are going to study about history of the animal classification. History of the animal classification. History of animal classification. So in that history, which scientists and how they classify these organisms according to their own way. So there are 2-3 systems of classification. First system of classification is there artificial method of classification. Second system is there natural system of classification is there, and last one is there system of classification based on evolution. So there are 3 systems of classification. So out of that one, first we are going to study, and that one is the artificial method of classification. Artificial method of classification. And in that artificial method of classification, it was first time adopted by Greek philosopher Aristotle, and he was the first scientist to classify that particular animals. He made first attempt to classify the animals. Second thing is that he used some characteristics, some criteria he used for the classification of living organism, and that criteria is the size of the body, habitat of that particular organism, and habits of that particular organism. Habits and habitats. Next thing is that this method of classification was followed by another scientist also, and that scientists are the Theophrastus, Pliny, John Ray, and Linnaeus. Theophrastus, Pliny, John Ray, and Linnaeus. So these scientists, they tried or they followed artificial method of classification. Second method of classification is the natural system of classification. Natural system of classification. So in this, some characteristics or criteria are used for the classification of the living organisms, and in that criteria, body organization is there, types of cells are there, again what you can say, number of chromosomes, biochemical properties. So these points are considered in the natural system of classification. In that, body organization is there, types of cells, chromosomes, biochemical processes. These points were considered for the natural system of classification. Then third one is there system of classification based on evolution. System of classification is based on evolution, and how that one is based on evolution, and that system of classification was adapted or it was used by the Dobzhansky and Mayer. And last one is the recent classification is proposed by Carl Woese, W-O-E-S-E, Carl Woese. So we'll see. First, there is the first method of classification is there. Suppose A is there. That one is the artificial method of classification. Method of classification. So points related to the artificial method of classification we'll see. First point is the Greek philosopher Aristotle. Greek philosopher Aristotle. Greek philosopher Aristotle first time used system of classification. So what you can say, he was the first scientist who classified the living organisms. Okay, he was the first to classify the living organism. Use system of classification. Second thing is that he used some criteria for the classification of living organism: body size, habits, and habitat. So criteria used. Which criteria used by Aristotle? That one is the body size. Second one is the habits and habitats. So body size, smaller or larger, microscopic. Habits of eating food. Again, habitats, places where they are living. These points were considered by Aristotle. Third point is there. In the third point, this method of classification was followed by Theophatus. This system of classification, Theophatus, then Pliny, Theophatus, Pliny, John Ray, and Linnaeus. John Ray and Linnaeus. So this system was adopted by Linnaeus. Linnaeus. Then next thing is that next system of classification we'll study, and that one is the natural system of classification. So B point is there. First one is the artificial method of classification. Second B is the natural system of classification. So in that natural system, which criteria is considered, that one we'll see. So for the classification of the natural system, some criteria were used, and that criteria is the body organization, types of cells, chromosomes, and biochemical properties. So criteria used is body organization, then types of cells is there. Again, you can say in case of this classification, types of cells are there, chromosomes are there, and biochemical processes. Chromosomes and biochemical processes or biochemical properties. So which criteria used for the natural system of classification? Body organization, types of cells, chromosomes, and biochemical properties, these etc. were used. Then next thing we'll see system of classification based on evolution. Point C is there. Next is the system of classification. Based on evolution. And evolution definition already we have studied. So system of classification which is based on evolution, and in that it was used by Dobzhansky and Mayer. So in this it was used by Dobzhansky and Mayer. M-E-Y-E-R. Mayer. Okay. Dobzhansky and Mayer. And next one, last one is the recent system of classification was proposed by Carl Woese. So a recent system of classification was, or it is given by, used by, or you can say given by, or is proposed by. Recent system of classification is proposed by Carl Woese, Woese, Carl Woese. So recent system of classification given by Carl Woese. Okay. So these are this one is about history of the animal classification. First one is the Aristotle, artificial method of classification. Second one is the natural system of classification, body organization, types of cells, chromosomes, biochemical properties, system of classification based on evolution in that Dobbs scan, Mayer, and recent system of classification was proposed by Carl Woese. So after this, we are going to study about benefits of animal classification. Next point is there, what are the advantages or benefits of animal classification? Why there is need to classify the animals? So already we have studied there is a huge diversity among the living organisms, or huge diversity among the animals, and 7 billion species of animals are found on the earth, and so it is not possible to remember all the living organisms at one glance. So we have to make their groups and subgroups, and making groups and subgroups of the living organisms, it is called as a classification. And if you are making groups and subgroups of animals, then it is called as animal classification. So what are the advantages or benefits or advantages of animal classification? So which are the advantages? We'll see. In that, first advantage is there, first we'll see points and then we'll write. So first advantage is there, it becomes, study of animals become convenient. If you are going to classify the living organism, study of the animals is becoming convenient. Okay, so study of the animals become convenient. Second point is there, study of few animals helps to understand about whole group of that organisms. Study of few animals, it is helping to understand about entire or whole group of the organisms. Then third point is that we are getting idea about animal evolution. Third point is that we are getting idea about evolution of animals. Fourth point is that in that it helps for easily identification and study of animals accurately. You can easily identify as well as you can accurately identify that particular animals. Then fifth one is that it helps for understanding the relationship of animal with other living organisms. So with the help of this one, you can study the relationship and role of that organisms with respect to other organisms. Sixth one is there, animal habitats of the animal and its role in the nature you can identify. Habitat, place where they are founding, where they are living, that one you can identify. Then we can study adaptations of that particular living organism. So these are the some advantages. So which advantages are there? First advantage is there, so study of animals become easy or convenient. Benefits, study of animals become easy or convenient. Easy. Second thing is that if you study few animals, then we'll get whole idea. We can understand about entire group of the living organism. So by studying few animals, we can get idea about entire group of organisms, of organisms entire group of the organisms. Suppose one person you will study or one animal you will study, you can get idea about whole group. Okay, so next thing is there third point is there, we can get idea about evolution of the animals. We can get idea about animal evolution. We are getting idea about evolution of animals. Then fourth point is there, so it helps to understand relationship of animal with other organisms, other living organisms. We get idea about relationship of organism, relationship of animal with other living organisms, with other living organisms. Suppose you consider carnivores, herbivores, their role into the food chain. We get an idea about relationship of animal with other living organisms. Then fifth point is there. In that fifth point, it helps to identify and to study accurately animals. So it helps to identify and study animals accurately. If you do animal classification, you can identify animals accurately and you can study them easily. Okay, accurately and easily. Sixth point is that in that habitat of the animals and its role in nature, we get information about habitat and role of animals. Then seventh one is there, we can study adaptation of animals. We can study adaptations in animals. Adjustment with the environment. So these are the points, these are the advantages of animal classification. First advantage is there, study of animals become easy or convenient. Second one is that if you study few animals, we can get idea about entire group of the organisms. Third one is that we can get idea about animal evolution. Fourth one is there, we get idea about relationship of animal with other living organisms. Relationship. Then it helps to identify and study animals accurately. We get information about habitat. And role of the animal, and we can study adaptations in the animals. So next point, we are going to study traditional method of classification. So traditional method of classification, we are going to learn what is the traditional method of classification. In the traditional method of classification, animals, they are classified based on notochord. These animals are classified on the basis of presence or absence of notochord. So what is meant by notochord? It is the rigid support present inside the body. If it is present, then the notochord is present. If it is not present, notochord is absent. So traditional method of classification. Next point is there, traditional method of classification. Method of classification. So in the traditional method, so depending upon presence or absence of notochord, animals are classified into chordates and non-chordates. Chordates and non-chordate. Chordates, notochord is present. In non-chordate, notochord is absent. So we'll see. First one we'll see non-chordates. Non-chordates. So in that non-chordates, what are the characteristics we'll see? Characteristics of non-chordate. What are the characteristics? So first characteristic is there, notochord is absent. Rod-like notochord is absent. Non-chordate, rod-like notochord supporting bone is absent. Rod-like notochord is absent. Second one is there, pharyngeal gill slits absent. Pharyngeal gill slits are absent. Third one is there. Third point is there, nerve cord if present, it is present on ventral side. Nerve cord if present, then it is present on ventral side. If nerve cord is present, it is present on ventral side. Ventral side means downside, lower side. Dorsal side means upper side. So, and the heart if present, it is present on the dorsal side. Heart present on the dorsal side. Heart is present on dorsal side. You have to remember, it will be asked for what you can say, objective type question. Non-chordates, heart is present on which side? Dorsal or ventral? Non-chordate, dorsal side, and in chordates, ventral side. Okay. Again, non-chordates are classified into 10 subphylums. Non-chordates are classified into 10 subphylums. Non-chordates are classified into 10 subphylums, or 10 phylums, you can say 10 phylums. Which 10 phylums are there? So it is very easy to remember. First one is there, PP. What you can say? PP. Okay. We'll write like this way. PP. Then CP, triple A, and MEH, MEH. PPCP AMEH, you can write PPCP triple AMEH, AMEH, PPCP AMEH. So what do you mean by PP? So here protozoa, this one porifera, next one Nidaria, also called as Coelenterata, Nidaria or Coelenterata. After that Platyhelminthes, Platyhelminthes, Platyhelminthes. After that Aschelminthes, ASCH, Aschelminthes, Aschelminthes, you can say Aschelminthes, ASC helminthes, Aschelminthes. After that A is there, so A is there, this A Aschelminthes. Then you can take Annelida, arthropoda, A for Annelida, then here arthropoda, and after that arthropoda M for mollusca, MOLLUSCA, mollusca. E for echinodermata, ECHINODERMATA, echinodermata. And H for hemichordata, So protozoa porifera, Nidaria, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, then arthropoda, mollusca, echinodermata, hemichordata. So non-chordates are classified into 10 subphylums. Okay, so this one is there about non-chordates. In detail we are going to study in next part. The next thing is the chordates, characteristics of chordates. Exactly opposite characteristics are there of chordates. So we'll see characteristics of chordates. Which are the characteristics of chordates? First thing is that in the chordates notochord is present, and second thing is their pharyngeal gill slits or lungs are present. Okay, so we'll see chordates. Second one is their chordates. In that characteristics, we'll see characteristics. So which are the characteristics? First thing is their chordates notochord is present. Notochord is present and the body is supported by notochord, you can say. Second thing is there notochord is present. Second thing is there pharyngeal gill slits or lungs are present. But pharyngeal gill slits or lungs, these in which side they are present? On the dorsal side. Present on the, what you can say, pharyngeal gill slits are present. No dorsal, no ventral, only like this way we will write. Pharyngeal gill slits are present, lungs are present. Third one, nerve cord is present, and nerve cord is there on dorsal side. Nerve cord is present on dorsal side. Dorsal side means upper side, above notochord. Then fourth one, heart is present In non-chordates we have written heart is present on dorsal side. Now here we are going to write heart is present on ventral side. Heart is present on ventral side. And these are the characteristics of chordates and chordates. And now we'll see what about notochord. So notochord. It is a long rod-like supporting bone structure present inside the body of the living organisms, and it is present on the dorsal side of the body. And it separates nerve cord, nerve tissues, and other parts of the body. So a rod-like support present inside the body of animals is called notochord. Second thing is there, it is present on dorsal side of the body. Okay, present on dorsal side of body. Third point is there, it separates nerve tissues from other parts of body. So nerve tissues are separated by notochord. So notochord, this information is important. Notochord. So it is other parts of the body. It is separating nerve tissue from other parts of the body. Now we'll see about chordates. Chordates are classified. Into three main subphylums. In that, first one is there Urochordata, second one is there Cephalochordata, and third one is there Vertebrata. So these are Urochordata. Then second one is there Cephalochordata, and third one is there Vertebrata. Again, that Vertebrata is classified into 5 classes. Okay, so Vertebrata, first class is there what you can say, cyclostomata. First one is there cyclostomata. Second one is there Pisces. Third one is there amphibians. Fourth one is there reptiles. Then fifth one is there ewes, and sixth one is there mammalians or mammals. So this detailed structure we are going to study in next video. So you have to remember that chordates, these are classified into 3 subphylums: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata. Vertebrata again classified into 6 classes. So cyclostomata, Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, ewes, mammals. So remaining part we'll see in the next video.